Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Avatar The Last Airbender Season 3 Episode 2. Yes, last time we got kind of the confirmation of several things that I was thinking and the clarifications of other bunch of stuff that I was thinking. So yes, obviously this series is taking this plot in a continuous road. What I mean by that is that they are not just abandoning the plot by the end of a season and then starting a new one, but no, in this case they are continuing what we watched in the last in the last season, and now they are continuing said plot, which is something I'm always grateful, because that is one of the major problems with Western animation, that they tend to just concentrate on simple stuff, and they took the 2 or 3 last episodes of the series, of the season, of whatever you want to call it, and then in the next one it's like nothing ever happens. And this is not something that the Avatar is doing. Avatar is doing a great job and continuing the plot and continuing with the growth of characters and giving us the interactions in different circumstances with these characters, because that is the major point of this series. That is the major point for this series, the characters, and that is something that you really need to concentrate on, and this is something that the writers of the show are really concentrating on. So yes, I am loving this series with every single episode that I'm watching. And yes, answering one of your commentaries, I tend to not watch the trailers for the next season because that could carry a lot of spoilers. Stuff that I should not watch, or stuff that I watch and I tend to overanalyze every single bit of that image. And perhaps I'm right or perhaps I'm wrong, but in the case that I'm right, I don't want to ruin the surprise, because I want to be surprised by everything that I'm watching in the series. So that's why I don't watch trailers, because obviously it's not something that it's not that it's bad, but it takes away the surprise for me, because again, I tend to overanalyze stuff, and sometimes I'm right at what I said and say, oh yes, I'm right. And when that happens in an episode, it's okay, because it's part of the journey. But when that happens in a trailer, I think it takes away from the experience. That's what I think. So yes, thank you for giving me the link. But again, I tend to not react to trailers. Because yeah, it's a lot of information. Then another stuff that you mentioned, that there are special episodes of Avatar. I try to find them. I try to type that into Google search, or into YouTube search more accurately. I don't know if you're referring to the Chibi episode or is to something else, because yes, I even tweet that if you could help me find, because yes, I don't want to go way too deep into this and then find some spoilers here and there. So that's why I tend not to go too deep into the case, because yeah, it's kind of dangerous for me, because again, blind reaction, blind commentary. So yeah, I tend not to go too deep into that place. So yes, if you could clarify which episodes are those, I will be grateful. And yes, I will be watching them. Hell, even perhaps before I continue with episode 3, because yeah, I watched already episode 1, so there is no point. And I don't want to delay the episodes much, because yeah, that is something that is not something I want to do. I don't want to make you wait more than you should. So yes, if you could clarify me which ones are those that you're speaking about, please let me know. Anyway, yes, let me just remind you that now I have a Patreon. So yes, obviously there is no obligation, but if you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. You get to have a week before the next episode, and obviously you get to have in a certain point the full reaction. There is no cut there other than the first minutes with the presentation, and obviously with the recapitulation, but it's something that you tell me that I should avoid like the plague. So Okay, maybe not the best word in this case. Another thing, please be safe. We're still in this quarantine, and yes, please be safe. Try not to get out too much, and try, if you have the symptom, please go straight ahead to the doctor, to your doctor, so you can prevent something worse that happening. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. And remember, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription, turn on notifications, and if you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. I read them. I sometimes took way too much time to answer them, but I swear I read each and one of them. So anyway, enough about this presentation, the longest that I have, and yeah, let's cut all of this and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the second episode of the third season. Again, I'm going to divide my commentary in two because I think this is the best way for me to express what I want to express. The first half, now we're going to have the Prince Zuko part of the deal, part of the episode. We start to see two faces of Prince Zuko. One that is happy, that is content with what he has in this moment, because according to himself, he has everything that he wanted. He's back home, he has the respect of his father, even though he's a fucking asshole, and I mean Ozai. He has a girlfriend that really appreciates him. Well, it's kind of a weird romance, but we are getting, because yes, we got that in the previous episode, and we got that in this one. Kind of a weird romance that I don't hate you. I don't hate you either. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but funny at the same time. So, he's well respected within the court. Even the guards say, oh, Prince Zuko, and kind of back down. So, and all of that stuff is, yes, it's what he wanted. But, well, it's what he believed he wanted. I think it's the better way to express what he is going through. But obviously, it's not all. Yes, he still has that feeling that something is missing, and in this case, he put that into the Avatar being alive, because he believes that he is alive for all the reasons that he knows. That thanks to the water, the special water that Katara have, and thanks to the resilience of, well, an Avatar, because yes, he's a very, very, very powerful being. But I think there is something else. And I don't know why, but he go and search the help from Iroh, the person that is the one he could trust the most. Even if in his twisted mind, and I mean Prince Zuko twisted mind, believe that he betrayed him or betrayed the ideals of the Fire Nation. This speaks volumes, the fact that he's going with Uncle Iroh, not Azula, because that is the other possibility, that maybe Azula already knows that the Avatar is alive, that she has the same feeling. That's why she put said plan into motion, that giving Zuko all the glory in that moment. But he doesn't trust her, not that much. So he's going after Uncle Iroh. He's going with Uncle Iroh. He's trying to sweeten the deal. Or perhaps it's not just the fact that he's the only one he can trust, but it's the fact that he wants to make Uncle Iroh's life the best possible, even in jail. He cannot take him out of jail, because yeah, that will anger his father and end up everything that he has now. But he doesn't want him to suffer as much. But obviously, we saw how Uncle Iroh react to the visit of Zuko. Uncle Iroh is not happy, he feels betrayal. And with all the reason in the world to feel like that, I mean, come on. What Zuko did was pretty shitty, man. And even we saw that here in the end. Because as I said in my previous reaction, and I said in my previous commentary, Zuko really lowered himself. Yes, he has everything. Yes, the status of a prince, not a banished prince, but a prince, a girlfriend that perhaps doesn't hate him. uh, but he's the lowest of the low in the moral standard because he betrayed the only person that follow him to the end of the world, almost literally, man. So yes, this is a terrible situation for Uncle Iroh and for Zuko even. So all those positive points that Zuko gained by kind of redeeming himself by the end of the second season were gone, because all the things that he did were just destroyed by the simple act of betraying Uncle Iroh, in my opinion. So yes, the conflict within Zuko is still interesting. Again, he is a flawed character, and that is something I like, because that adds up drama to the situation that we have here. But on the other hand, you still have the shitty part of Zuko. I don't know, it's a not sensation for me. And obviously we have our persecutor for the moment. This dude that has a leg and an arm made of metal. I don't know if that is an advantage for Toph, or she needs to touch the guy. Anyway, yeah, we have the guy that's going to try to capture, and not just capture, kill the Avatar. Now, yes, going to the full kill. So yes, that is on the side of Zuko. A fascinating character analysis, which I am eager to see more about. I want to see more about this inner conflict of Zuko. Now, moving on to the Avatar side. First of all, come on, the blatant mistake in animation. The clothes that they took were not matching with the colors that they were in, and obviously it's more intricate than that. Okay, that is my nitpicking for the episode, and I think probably for the fucking season. Now going to the positive, which is going to obviously overwhelm everything I said, which is not much. Again, we know that the Fire Nation is the enemy. We know that. That is made very clear. But I love when we got this look into the inside of the Fire Nation, especially with children, with teenagers, that they are being indoctrinated into these schools to believe that the Fire Nation is everything and everyone should bow to them. That the leader is obviously the most important person in the entire world. Even more important than your parents, than your friends, than everything. You own everything to this person. That is pure indoctrination. And again, I love how this applies to so many things. They don't have to give you a specific example of that. I can give you several of them. I can give you the example of Hitler, the most blatant one, that yes, the leader is everything. Or the example of Mussolini. Another example that yes, the leader is everything. Or a more modern one, the Kim Jong, I think it's Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il. I don't remember who the new one is. But yeah, it's very similar. If you watch a documentary about North Korea, you're going to find a lot of similarities of what they are doing. But again, I love how this is not dated. Because they don't mention, again, as I said in previous occasions, they don't say the Fire Nation leader Trump, or back then the Fire Nation Beige instead of Bush, or something bullshit like that. That's what makes it a lot more important and a lot more timeless. Because yes, you can relate to some stuff like the Nazis, or like something else, and yes, I don't care. I cannot get demonetized because I'm not being monetized. So yeah, I don't care. But yeah, it's a great example of how can you make a political statement without being in your face. And again, I love this analysis because you start to see that yeah, these kids doesn't hate the rest of the nation because they don't know the rest of the nation. They only concentrate in knowing about their own nation. They are rigid. And I think a great example of that is when this dude, this bully, tried to fight Aang, and Aang was just messing with him like it was nothing. But you can see and you can feel how stiff his fighting style was. Yeah, Aang is accustomed to fight with a lot more dynamic involved, and fighting against amazing firebenders like Azula, like Zuko, or waterbenders like Katara, or earthbenders like Toph, which are fucking amazing. And when this dude that is not, yeah, perhaps he's a little bit older than Aang, but doesn't have any real combat expertise, he's just, oh yeah, sure, whatever, man, you're not good, you are rigid. And you can feel that in the animation that they put in said fight, how rigid he is, how stiff he really is. And that is the problem. They are teaching with other examples that we saw in the episode. They are teaching in a very rigid way. You need to just be like this. Your world is enclosed in this. And I love the fact that Aang showed them something else, a little bit more freedom. I'm kind of worried what is going to happen with all the kids that went to the party, because yes, they're going to get a punishment. But I love the fact that they show them they need to express themselves in any shape, way or form. One way obviously is dancing, but we have several others. And I love we have these Spartacus moment in the end. I am Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm
So I love that little detail that we have there. Obviously not the same, but it even close the same feelings, that we are trying to protect somebody that help us out, that give us something else, and everybody put it on bandanas. And I love the look on the feet of the headmasters by the end, that okay, we have a real problem here. And that's what I'm worried about these poor kids, that they are going to have more strict training from now on. But I love how the guards are still saying, oh yeah, we like the rhythm, and they try to stop them. But yes, I love the fact that they are showing something else. And obviously, I love the fact that they can dance, because I'm not sure still. I don't know if those are waterbending movements included in kind of a type of dance. But I love how they didn't notice that, because they don't know the waterbending techniques or any other technique for that matter. I love the fact that we still see, or we're starting to see, a little bit of jealousy from Katara towards Aang. That okay, yeah, let him be, but she's kind of jealous. You can start to see the mutual love that obviously started stronger with Aang, but now it's moving towards Katara, and they're starting to have mutual feelings from each other. I like that. I really do. I really like that pairing. And yes, in the less serious side, obviously we have Sokka and his obsession with the mustache and the beard, and it looks pretty cool that he doesn't want to take that off. And yeah, obviously Toph is not very important in this episode. It's just kind of again a comedic relief. But I love how she is included in the conversation here and there. Yes, I love this episode. This shows something else, another type of attack of the Fire Nation, or at least the leaders of the Fire Nation, with it himself. I know I spoke about this in previous, I think in season 1, I think I spoke about that. But this is, I think, more clear in this case, that how they are being indoctrinated to believe that the Fire Nation is all, and the leader is all. It's a terrible thing, but yeah, it's what they are trying to do. But anyway, I think I exhausted the topic of this one. I hope you enjoy it, and let me just remind you that I have now a Patreon, and yes, this video is going to come out a week before in my Patreon, and it's going to come out in full in my Patreon too. So if you want to check that out, the link's in the description below. And obviously, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription, give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment. I know I take my sweet time to read them, but well, not to read them, to answer them, because I read them almost immediately. Yes, I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoy it, and well, see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.